Welcome to the Heavy Spoilers Show. I'm your host Deffinition, and this is the channel where we explain it so you don't have to. Superhero films are a dime a dozen, so naturally Brightburn stands out from the crowd in more ways than one. This Superman story with a difference tells the tale of what would happen if a boy born with incredible abilities had the power to do whatever he wanted. There's a lot to unpack from the film, and throughout this video I'll be breaking down everything that you need to know about the movie and its ending. This is full spoilers ahead, so if you haven't seen the film yet and don't want anything ruined for yourself, then I highly suggest that you turn off now. With that out of the way, I just want to give a huge thank you for clicking this video. I hope you enjoy it. Now sit back, relax, and let's get into my breakdown of Brightburn. The movie opens on your typical archetype of the Man of Steel story. We join an American farm-based couple that are struggling to have a child. The pair are suddenly thrust into parenting when a mysterious ship crash lands on their property, and the movie follows the two as they attempt to raise their son Brandon, who slowly transforms into a predator of immense power. Brandon is fascinated with insects, and his encyclopedic knowledge of all things creepy crawlies makes him an outcast at school that is picked on by pretty much everyone. One night the ship that he crash lands in starts calling to him, and after visiting it, Brandon discovers his incredible abilities. Now, whilst in the comics Clark Kent used the discovery to realise he was there to help people, Brandon goes a bit like Ted Bundy upon discovering that his sister is actually his mother, and slowly comes to the realisation that humans are like insects to him and should kneel at his feet. Nice, right? Well, no amount of Batman is going to get us out of this, and the film slowly follows the boy as he develops into a supervillain. Where's Martha when you need her? Anyway, what's so relatable about this movie is that most people will be able to put themselves in the shoes of Brandon. How many people wish that they had superpowers growing up, purely for revenge purposes, and the character, though evil, definitely has a side to him that I could see in myself if I was given amazing gifts. I'd basically, fly over to anyone's house who thumbs down this video and give them a wedgie off their windowsill. No, I won't do that, lovely person, I'd help the world. Anyway, Brandon's parents are torn on their new son's career path as General Zod, with his father being worried about what he could become, whilst his mother wants to love and nurture him. One night she finds him speaking in tongues and levitating above his ship, which is when she discovers that the spacecraft that he came in has the ability to cut him, which plays heavily into the ending of the film. Brandon believes he hears a voice say "take the world" from his ship, and he interprets this as meaning to take over the entire planet. Which of course means stopping by at that girl's house that he likes to frighten her to death and kill her mother who won't let her speak to him. Great guy. Donning a moth mask, he assaults her in the diner, and instead of "with great power comes great responsibility," when bad things happen to people, it's for a good reason. By the end of the film, Brandon has murdered his uncle in a scene that will leave yours and the character's jaw on the floor, and his father, who by the way is played phenomenally by David Denham of Office fame. He takes Brandon in the woods in an almost Of Mice and Men callback, and unfortunately discovers the hard way that Brandon is bulletproof. With Brandon's mother Tori, played by Elizabeth Banks, the only one left that knows the truth, Brandon returns to their house to terrorise her and the police. Naturally, they make very little work for him, with the character redecorating the front lawn and walls with the officer's blood. This is where the film really comes into its own for me, and I imagine it's every parent's worst nightmare seeing what their child could do to them if they had unlimited power and weren't too thoughtful of the consequences. Remembering that the ship can damage the character, Tori travels back to it and takes a shot of metal. After the two embrace and she convinces Brandon to do good, she tries to stab him, however he catches her arm, flies her above the clouds before dropping her to her death thousands of feet below. Brandon has won, and all those that now know his secret are dead, but in order to appear innocent, he must make it look like an accident. After seeing a plane, Brandon uses this to crash into his house and to make it look like his parents were killed in an accident. The credits of the film then show his rise to power, with the character going on to cause many accidents throughout the world as he slowly rises in prominence. Basically, you could tie this into the DC universe and no one would notice. Obviously from this we can take that nobody could stop the character, and the superpowers of the world were powerless to stop him. Whether this is what his original parents wanted is another thing completely, with the interpretation of takeover being completely subjective to the character. What I love about the psychology of Brightburn is that the character is as much a victim as he is menace. Had he been treated better by society, then he would likely not have acted the way that he did. However, because humans viewed him as just a weak kid, they picked on him and are the ones that really forced him to take the steps that he did. This story is as much a tale about how absolute power corrupts absolutely as it is about how humans are bad to each other for some unknown reason that forces us all to lash out. It's a brilliant movie that's as much a horror film as it is a comic book one. Obviously, I'd love to see a sequel to this as it feels like the first step into a dark universe and there's so many ways that you could take the character. Whilst the film isn't perfect and I would have loved for it to go on longer, if you're looking for someone who's less Clark Kent and more I can't finish that sentence because I don't want to get demonetized, then you'll heavily enjoy Brightburn. Overall, this is an awesome film and it gets an 8 out of 10. So, what were your thoughts on Brightburn? Did you enjoy the movie and what did you take from its ending? Comment below and let me know, and if you enjoyed this video then please like it and make sure you check out my breakdown of the finale of Game of Thrones, which will be linked at the end. This is a channel for people who are super into superheroes, so if that's the kind of thing you like, hit subscribe. Thanks again for taking the time to watch this. I've been Deffinition, you've been the best, and I'll see you next time. Take care, peace.